and I should have started the recording early, but I just started the recording. So tonight's session is going to be recorded, and at the end of this session, I'm going to post the recording in the group so that persons can have access to it so that they can review it from time to time. So tonight's presentation really is going to be done by Kendall. And at this time, I'm going to turn over to Kendall as he takes over this session.
All right, pleasant good night to everyone. Pleasant good night. Thank you, Brother Paul. I'm really happy and I'm grateful for being here on the call with you guys this evening. Before I continue, let me ask you, please, if I'm going to fast, feel free, raise your hand, feel free to unmute your mic and stop me. If you have any questions while I'm going along, feel free to ask. I will try my best to go as slow as possible. So feel free to slow me down if I'm going to fast. Sometimes I get excited. And Grace, if you can hear me, just put a 111 in the chat if you can hear me. 111. We make sure that everyone can hear me. All right, good. Thank you. Okay, I am going to share my screen. Now tonight, what I'm going to do is basically help you guys to be independent traders. All right, independent in terms of analyzing the charts by yourself. So in case you get a trade alert, you'll have the ability to analyze the chart yourself to see if that particular trade is going in the direction based on the alert. Also, again, individuals are working, and based on your timing, if you are able to analyze your charts yourself, then you'll have the ability to take your own trades. And in addition to what Paul said earlier, the back office, I am not trying to take away the credit of the back office. The back office is very, very important. That's where I learn my information, right? For those of you who haven't paid your subscription yet, if you have the ability to do that, then please do. The harmonic scanner, you have a load of trades on the harmonic scanner. Even when I go on the harmonic scanner, even me myself, I take some trades on the harmonic scanner at times. All right. So try your best to pay your subscription if you can and get on the harmonic scanner. You have loads of trades. Also, if you get on some of the educators, analyze some of the charts, look and see what they're doing, so you can learn the different strategies. Okay. Some people may not like the strategy that I'm using, and there are different strategies. There are different strategies, so you have to find the one that actually works for you. All right. Now, what I'm going to show you tonight is basic following the trend. All right. Just following the trend. I trade based on the trend, and I'm going to explain that to you. What I do before what I do from the start, go all the way to the end before I enter the trade. Okay. I said, if I'm going to slow, please, if I'm going to fast, sorry, feel free to stop me and unmute your mic and ask your question. If something you don't understand, feel free to ask your question. Okay. I try my best to have a clean chart. I don't use no indicators, nothing like that. I use a clean chart. The only thing I do with my charts is draw my trend line, right? That's all I do. Just drawing my trend line. Okay. So I'll try my best to explain it as clear as possible. As I said, if you don't understand, feel free to unmute your mic, ask the question, you know, repeat and try my best to answer your question. I would prefer if you mute your mic because my computer is very slow. If you type, I may not see the message. So I prefer if you unmute your mic and ask your question. Okay. All right. Before you start trading, there's a few things you need to keep in mind. You've heard talk about mindset. The mindset is important. Your mindset, very, very, very important. When I say mindset, what am I talking about? Now, if you're about to analyze the charts and you are afraid of what's going to happen, I will advise you, don't get into the market. If you're frightened, just don't get in. Your mindset is not right. All right. If you're unsure,
I don't know about this when I went in the bathroom.
If you're unsure about a trade, don't get in. All right. The only time you need to get in a trade is when you're confident about what you're doing. And what I'm gonna do, as I explain it to you, I'll give someone the chance, one or two persons the chance, if we have the time, to at least take a practice. Right? I am hoping that this wouldn't be just a one-time session. I'm hoping that we'll continue this so that you can understand, you know, this technique in terms of drawing trend lines, and so. All right. Another thing that helps you with your mindset, reading is very important. You know, self-development, read books, self-development. Bob Proctor is one of the master for helping you develop a proper mindset. All right, so go on YouTube, listen to Bob Proctor videos and stuff in terms of paradigm shift. You know, listen to the stuff, read books, even listen to the audio version of the books. Okay, so your mindset is important. Proper right mindset. Another thing to keep in mind when you are a new trader, try to stick with 1 or 2 pairs, 3 pairs as the most. The reason why, if you stick with 1 pair, then you will be able to follow that pair. You will be able to see the different trend, when it's changing trend, when it's going in that direction, when it's pulling back. You will be able to identify it, and it will be a lot easier for you to trade with only 1 pair rather than 2, 3, 4, and follow the pattern with 1 pair. All right, you'll be a lot more successful. Another thing to keep in mind, proper risk management. We can overemphasize proper risk management. Now, I've said before, I've blown about 4 accounts. It's not a nice thing to blow an account. Emotionally, it affects you emotionally. It make you feel really, really bad. It make, you know, and embarrassed. Sometimes you don't even want to tell people you blow an account because of the way it makes you feel. Please, proper risk management. I'll tell you how I blew accounts. The first time I took $100 and I was able to turn $100 into $1,000 using the harmonic scanner. Took my trades on the harmonic scanner. After a while, I subscribed to this app or this product on the back office, where you get trade alerts through the app, not Gold Cup, through the app. The first one, Swipe Trade, right? I subscribed to Swipe Trade, and Swipe Trade together with the harmonic scanner, I was able to turn $100 into $1,000. I made $1,000 the Wednesday night. I felt so good. I felt like, yes, I'm getting through. And with the $1,000, I was doing, 0.01 lot size. Sometimes I do 0.02 lot size. And when I reached $1,000, I left from 0.01 and 0.02 and started doing $1 lot size. and with my confidence thinking, oh, you know, I've won so many trades, you know, my confidence built, you know, kind of get cocky and excited. And so the excitement got into my head and jumping $1 per pip. And I made the $1,000 the Wednesday night. The very next day, the Thursday, my account blew. All right, the very next day, the Thursday, my account blew. And that was devastating. I felt so bad. Right? I said, all right, I have to try it again. I got my card from IM. I deposited some money, I think $200 on my account again. And over a period of time, I was able to build the $200 into to make it $1,000 again. I made the $1,000 the Wednesday. The very next day, I over leveraged again, higher, you know, lot size than I had to. And the Thursday, my account blew. The Thursday, my account blew. So a few times that happened, about 3-4 times. I made the money the Wednesday, and the Thursday, my account blew. So that's the reason why on Thursdays, I don't trade on Thursdays. Right? I don't trade on Thursdays. So in the past, I had a horrible experience on Thursdays. So I just stay out of the market on Thursdays. All right. So I give you this story to show you that over leveraging, going a higher lot size than you should is not very good. Not good at all, at all, at all. All right.
So Kendall, if I can add a little here, because I realize you were speaking not just about you, but you were speaking about me too.
Okay.
Yeah, because working along also with you, I mean, I was able to take $200 and in 1 week turn it into 7,000 just in 1 week. And it
Right.
will be 7,000 the Wednesday evening. And it so happened, as you rightly said, because of over leveraging, Thursday, all of it went, lost all of it and blew the account. And that was only maybe just about a month and a half ago again. And then, and that's why I made mention earlier, when you lose or you blow an account, it sort of a shake you up and make you a bit kind of nervous and so on, do that. But the key to it, as I made mention earlier, and all the educators always make mention of it, is to take your time, gradually build, and it's not so much about the risk. If you manage a risk and you stay within your proper leverage, you don't have a problem. But if when you put in a trade, you should not worry how the trade goes. You shouldn't have to be watching the trade every minute. And if you place a trade and constantly during the day, in the hour, you have to watch it 10, 15 times for the hour, that's not a trade you should be in. Because if you do proper risk management and you leverage properly, you don't have to sit and steer your trade every minute of the day. Back to you.
Oh yeah, that's right, brother Paul. That's right. Sorry, that's right. And I'm telling you all this. I'm telling you guys all this. You know, show you my experience. So after blowing so many accounts, in the process, what I was doing, I wasn't just trading and just blowing accounts. I spent a lot of time in the back office. I spent plenty time in the back office, looking at different videos, looking at different educators, different styles, you know, looking at you know, simple styles. I just don't like to see my chat have so many different indicators on it. Sometimes it confuses me, all right? So I've been looking for, you know, different strategies on what will work, you know, testing it, trying it to see, you know, what is comfortable for me. And what I'm about to show you here tonight, I have found this strategy. And when I found this strategy, in the process of I haven't perfected the strategy as yet, but I'm very successful using this strategy. And in the process of doing that, I think I blew account, I think once, okay? I've been using this strategy, and I've been able to make a lot of money on the Forex market here, right? A lot of money. Now, patience is key. Patience key. You need to be patient. Now, when you analyze a trade, you're looking for a few points. If you cannot see what you're looking for, you do not enter the trade. Even though you're looking at only one pair, and based on what I'm going to show you, you can't see that what you're looking for just don't enter the trade. Just leave it and wait. Even though you have to wait for the whole day without even taking a trade, wait. Even though you have to wait 2 days without taking a trade, you wait. All right. It's very, very, very important. If you cannot see a entry, do not try to force a trade. All right. That is very, very important. So I'm going to share this with you tonight, and it's very, very simple, very, very simple. However, I know we will have to repeat it over and over in order for you to get it, and you will have to practice. And while you're practicing, you have to make mistakes. You have to make mistakes in order to know that you're doing the right thing. All right. If you don't make mistakes, you wouldn't know if you're doing the right thing. And if you don't practice, you wouldn't make mistakes. So when you get a chance to practice, please try to take the practice. So when you make your mistake, I'm here so I can correct you and help you on the way. So let's get started. Let's get started. Right? So what I do here, I select a few pairs. I select a few USD pairs. So USD, AUD USD, USD JPY, NZD USD. I touch gold every now and then. I have a very good friend of mine. I love gold. So I touched gold this morning. I made some money on gold. That's my first time trading gold actually. So that's why it's on my list. USD card, GBP, USD, and I have about 3 EOR pairs. All right, EOR GBP, EOR NZD, and EOR JPY. Okay. So let's look at the EOR pairs first. Okay, let's say for instance we're looking at EOR GBP. All right, I go on EOR GBP. First of all, what I do, I look at the higher time frame first. So I look at the 1 week first. First thing I do, I look at my 1 week. The reason why I look at my 1 week to see the direction the trend is going. Okay, I look at my 1 week to see the direction the trend is going. Now, pay attention. Okay, if I'm going too fast, please slow me down. If you want me to repeat what I said, please unmute your mic and ask me to repeat. Okay. Now here is what happened in the past. Okay. Right from here go back. From here go back. That's what happened in the past. For drawing my trend line, I am not really interested in what happened in the past. I'm not interested in what happened in the past for drawing my trend line. The only time I'll be interested in what happened in the past is to get my take profit and my stop loss and those things. So for now, I am only interested in the current trend that I'm seeing leading toward leading toward entry point, leading toward where price is actually, not entry point, leading toward where price is. So this is price right here, right? On this candle here, that's where price is on the 1 week. And here, this is a downtrend. Okay, can we see that? This is a downtrend. So with the downtrend, I will come over here. For those who, I am in trading view, right? I'm in trading view. For those of you not familiar with trading view, I'll come over to this line here and click on the arrow, and I'm looking for a trend line. Okay, I am looking for a trend line. So what I do, I have them as a shortcut. So if you come here, you see there is a star over here. I'll just click on the star, based on what I want, and they will enter in a shortcut here. So I'll use this shortcut here, and next time we could do a training with a trading view. So I take my trend line, okay, and I put it at the top here, and I follow the trend because it's a downtrend. If it's a downtrend, I draw my trend line on the top of the downtrend coming down. If the trend is an uptrend, I will draw my trend at the bottom of the trend. Okay, so for example, this here is a downtrend, is an uptrend, sorry. I will draw the trend line at the bottom of the trend, and here is a downtrend, so I will draw my trend line on top of the trend. Okay, everyone understand that? If you understand that, put a 2 in the chat for me, please. If everyone understand that, Put a 2 in the chat for me, please. All right, good. So let me just show you, for example, here again, okay? If it's a downtrend, I will draw my trend line at the top. So this here is a downtrend. I will draw my trend line at the top, okay? I'll draw my trend line at the top if it's a downtrend. All right, and if it's an uptrend, see this is an uptrend here, I will draw my trend line at the bottom of the trend, okay? I draw my trend line at the bottom of the trend, okay? I think this is straightforward. All right, so here is what. So from, right, so we're gonna draw the trend leading toward where price is currently. So here, that's where the price is. So we draw our trend line right here. So from the 1 week, I will go down to 1 day. All right, I go down to 1 day. And in drawing a trend line, you want to ensure that the trend line is touching the wicks of the candle. All right, the wicks of the candle. So when you're drawing your trend line, you do not want your trend line to go across the candles, right? Touching the candles deep like that. You want to make sure that your trend line is touching the wicks of the candle. All right, the wicks of the candle. Okay, so and your trend line should be just a little further than the candles, or the wicks, sorry, just a little further than the wicks. Okay, all right, just a little further than the wicks. So remember, from the 1 week, we pull our trend line to where the trend, we follow the trend to where price is currently. From the 1 week, all right, so then we draw a trend line. From the 1 week, we go to 1 day, and we adjust the trend line to ensure that it's at the edge of the wicks. From the 1 day, we go down to the 4 hours, okay? And what we want to do here, the reason why we go so high, we're looking for trade. We're trading, as I said, I trade based on the trend, and we're looking for directional bias. I'll explain what directional bias is in a while, okay? Directional bias. So here, right, this trend line here is from the 1 week, okay? So from the 1 week, you see it applied for the one day, and it also applies for the 4 hours. So from the 1 week, we jump down to the 1 day. From the 1 day, you go down to the 4 hours. Some people who are swing traders, meaning hold trades for days and weeks, they will even go as high as 1 month. All right, look at the trend line, the trend all the way up to 1 month. Okay. Now with me, I like to see my profits by the end of the day. Even though I put in a trade in the morning, I don't bother with the trades, and by the end of the day, I should see my profits. That's me. So I'm intraday trader. Some people like to see the profits within an hour, within 2 hours. All right, within a few minutes. You call that scalping. All right. Again, you have different type of traders. Now, from the 4 hour, a few things happen here within the 4 hours. If you look at this here, right? Right, we're gonna go down a little lower and then I'll come back, right? We make sure that we have the trend line at the top of the wick, okay? At the top of the wick. Something to keep in mind, as long as price remain under this trend line, on the 4 hours, this pair, EUR-GBP, will continue to sell because this is a downtrend. Can everyone see that? If you understand that, put a 1 in the chat. I'll repeat it again. Before you put the 1, I'll repeat it again. Seeing that this is a downtrend, as long as price stays under this line, we're gonna sell this. All right, we're selling as long as price stay under this trend line. If you understand that, put a 1 in the chat. It doesn't seem like any. Can you hear me? Paul, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, you're clear. Yeah, I just mute my mic. Yeah.
Okay. My computer is going slow, so you might have to check for me on the chat to make sure that people are participating.
Yeah.
I want to make sure everyone is okay. Good. Thank you. Right. Thank you. So here is what no. Right. The importance. One of the importance of this line. One of the importance of this line. I just explained one of the importance. As long as we see price remain, as long as price remain under this line in a sell, we know that we will continue to sell this pair. Okay? As long as price remain under this, we know we're going to continue to sell. Now, another thing to remember, anytime price break your trend line, so for instance, if price come up and passes this line here, then this is an indication that price from this pair now, instead of selling, we're looking to buy this pair. Whenever the candles or price passes through this line, this is an indication that we're no longer selling this pair, but we're going to buy this pair. I hope you understand that. I'll repeat that again. One of the importance of this line, right, to show which direction the pair is going. As long as price stays under this trend line, we know that we're selling because it's a downtrend. So we know we sell when price goes down and we buy when price is going up. Right? So as long as price remain under this line, we are selling. If price or the candle passes this line, this is an indication that we will no longer sell this pair, but we're getting ready to buy. Okay? Don't go ahead of me. I want you to stay with me. Don't think about when we're going to enter as yet. I'm going to explain to you when you're going to enter the trade, at what point you're going to enter the trade, and what to look for to enter the trade. Okay? So just know that as long as price stay under this, right? As long as price stay under this trend line, we are selling. And again, I'll show you lower down how to or what to look for your entry point to sell, and what to look for basically. All right, what we look for. And if or whenever price passes this, if price passes this trend line here and break it, we know well, this is an indication that we're no longer selling, but we're getting ready to buy this pair. Do you understand that? If you understand, please put a 2 in the chat. If you understand what I said, please put a 2 in the chat. All right, good. Good. Right. So let me go a little further. Let me go a little further. Now, give me 1 second. Right. Now, from the 4 hours, we were going down to the 1 hour. Okay, from 4 hours, we go down to the 1 hour. So we're going to skip the 2 hours. We're skipping the 3 hours. From 4 hours, we're going to 1 hour. So I'll recap. The first thing we're going to do, we're looking at the pair on the 1 week time frame. We look at the direction of the trend leading to where price is currently. From the 1 week, we go into the 1 day, and we are adjusting our trend line to ensure that the trend line touches the wicks of the candle in that particular direction. From the 1 day, we go to the 4 hours, and we will adjust the trend line to the wicks to ensure that it followed that particular trend, okay? And from the 4 hours, we jump to the 1 hour. Now pay close attention, all right? Pay close attention. And with TradingView, you're gonna have to adjust your charts to ensure that you're seeing your candles properly and those things, okay? So now look at this, all right? All right, based on when we draw the trend line before on the higher time frame, you see the trend is still not on top of the wick. So we want to ensure that we draw the trend line on top of the wick. Again, the same principle apply. As long as price remain under this trend line, we are selling, okay? If I take another trend line, this is out further than it, and I come down here, you see it's continue to sell. All right, it's continue to sell. Okay, price continue, EOR GBP continue to sell. All right. Now, when you get to the 1 hour, what you want to do is you might want to draw another trend line. Let me explain myself. You might want to draw another trend line. So for instance, let's say price haven't this here didn't happen as yet. Let's say from here, okay, right? This candle, let's say this candle wasn't formed as yet, and we just have this here, okay? I'm going to draw a trend line right here. Let me just show you something. All right, I'm going to draw a trend line right here. So what I'm going to do on the 1 hour, I'm going to draw a smaller trend line, smaller to the larger one, okay, on the 1 hour. So again, I will draw my trend line. It's a downtrend touching the candles right at the top of the wick, okay? I draw my trend line touching the candles at the top of the wick. So I started at the highest point of that particular trend, okay, the highest point of the particular trend, and I pull my trend line all the way down, okay, and I make sure that it touches the wick. If you notice, some of the wicks didn't touch the trend line, sorry, right? It didn't touch the trend line, and that's okay. All right, what you want to make sure of, you want to make sure that the trend line touches the wicks of that candle and pull it all the way down. Now, look at this here. Look at this, what I was explaining earlier on. So price came down. As long as it stay under this trend here, as long as it stay under this trend line, right, you see price continue to come down, right? Price continue to come down. Look at what happened here. At this point, right, at this point right here, right, the market continue, it kind of consolidate right here. And at this point, look at that. You see, price break this trend line, right? Price passes through this trend line. When it passes through this trend line, it appears that, you know, it was going up. Okay, it appeared as it was going up. However, on the larger time frame, you will see that was just simply a pullback. Okay, so here you see price was coming down. As long as it stay under the the trend line, it continues to come down. And we passes this and we have a pullback. Okay? And if you look at the larger time frame, you see it continue to come down. All right? Let me just pull back, go back up a little to show you what's happening here. Let me just go back here. If I drag this line all the way back here, look at what's happening here. Now, let's say, for instance, we have this here. We pull a trend line from here and we come down, right? We want to touch the wicks. All right, we want to touch the wicks of the candle. So look at that. So price came down here at the bottom, right? It's at the bottom of the trend line. And look here, you see right at this point, it passes the trend line. So the fact that it passes the trend line, as I said, whenever it passes the trend line, we're looking for a buy. So this year, from here, you see that start going up into a buy all the way up here. Okay. So now when you see price passes through the trend line, as I said, if I'm going too fast, please feel free to unmute your mic and stop me. Okay. If you don't understand something, so I can repeat it. Price passes through this trend line here. What I will do, at the minute time it passes the trend line, I also want to draw a trend line at the bottom here as well. So I will, right, I will draw a trend line right here. All right, so I want to try to touch the wicks of the candle and try to get as much touches as possible. Okay, as much touches as possible. So, right, so it passes this trend line right here. It continued, it was going up, it went all the way up, and then even though this appears to be a pullback, then it passes the trend line here again. All right. Now you might ask, what's the importance of this? What's the importance of this drawing trend lines, you know, different direction? Why is that important? Now, the reason why this is important here, now when this, let's say for instance, someone see this huge up here, right? And someone will say, well, look, your RGBP, it changed direction and it's going up, you know, it go up really, really hard and it's going to go up in an uptrend. So now you see this here and you're thinking this is a pullback. Now you might get here, you see this uptrend right here, small uptrend here, and you say, all right, this is going up in some, you know, in a hard buy. So you're jumping right at this point here. Right at this point here, you jump in because you see some nice blue candles. And you're jumping now for a buy because it continued, you know, it was buying right here. And because you're jumping for a buy here, watch what happened. Now it pulled back and you're thinking, okay, you just let it pull back and not paying attention to the trend, not paying attention to the trend. And if you didn't have this trend line here, then you leave the trade and you wait, and you see what happens. It continues to sell all the way here, all right? And look at this. You enter here, and this market come all the way down here, and from there is 130 something pips. So if you go on your over leverage share, then your account blow based on the size of your account. And with this drawback here, you're in a lot of problems, right? And again, that's if you don't put no stop loss, you're in some serious problems. However, by drawing this trend line right here, and you see price passes through this trend to this trend line right here, you know, oh boy, this is going in the opposite direction when I thought. So you are able here now to detect it, and even though you have to close your trade right there, look how much you're going to lose this trade, but look how much you're going to lose, right? From here to here is about 60 something pips, all right? Compared to 130 something pips, right? You double the amount. So one, it helps you to avoid huge losses, and two, the most important thing, The trend line helps you to identify when the trend is changing. And that is important. It helps you to identify when the trend is changing. As I explained earlier, right? As I explained earlier, this trend line here, that's the most powerful trend line here. It's the 1 week. Whenever price passes, if price passes this trend here, we know that the trend is changing. All right, we know that the trend is changing. So I'll repeat again. Before I repeat, can someone unmute the mic and try and explain based on what you understand, please? Can someone unmute the mic? Come on, we don't have much time. Just unmute your mic if you think you understand, and try and explain what you understand, please. If not, I'm gonna call on someone.
Good night.
Good night.
Antonia, I'm gonna try to understand, although you kind of, I kind of got, I don't want to say lost, but I'm unsure about the last part. Okay, so we established the trend line on the 1 week level. Ensure that the line touches the week from the top right down to the current price or where the market is currently. After which, when we do that, we establish the direction of the market or the trend, whether it's going down or whether it's going up. So after we identify that, we go on to the 1 day, and we make some adjustment to ensure that our lines is at the top of the week, and we continue to look for the same direction or pattern from the 1 week. Then we come down to the 4 hour, and we again ensure that our lines is properly. At that point, we also look and ensure that the price remains the same. The trend line continues. You indicate that if at that 4 hour point, the price break through the trend line we established from the 1 week and 1 day, then there's a change in the direction of the market. From the pair you have in the presentation here, it shows that it continues to sell on the 4 hour. Then we go down to the 1 hour. Again, we ensure that our price line is accurate. At that time, we draw a second trend line to look for more recent activity in the market. That's what I got from it. Yeah, and at which point we ensure that the trend line is touching. If there is a change, as you had in presentation here, we see there was a breakthrough in the trend line, as this pair did. We draw a second line at the bottom of the direction of the market there, second line. That is where I got a little bit unsure, because I was wondering if the line at the bottom should touch the first trend line we established at the 1 week level. That is what I was.
Okay, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
You did very, very good. You did very, very good. And I just as you explain it, that's exactly what I said. And you did very, very good.
That's my student. That's my student. Now be very careful.
Yeah, you make me feel like I did a very good job in explaining it. Okay. So, which is very good. I really appreciate that. Right. So if you get it, I will assume that others got it as also. Now I will explain with this one if you have to touch the trend line or not. I will explain that shortly. And I feel really good that you explained that. Awesome. Even though I was learning and you explained this, I'm sure I would have gotten it. So that's very good. Now, let me show you a little bit more in details, okay? Let me show you a little bit more in details. Well done, Antonia, well done. So for instance, when we get down to the 1 hour, right? When we get down to the 1 hour, now pay attention, please, all right? Now, if you look at price, right, we get into the 1 hour. And at the 1 hour, This is the recent, right here, let me just delete this. Yeah. Right here is the recent trend leading to the current price. All right, this here is a recent trend leading to the current price. Now, this, what I'm going to show you here is vitally important. Pay close attention. All right. So what happened in the back here, we're not so much concerned about it because we know this is a downtrend. We know clearly that this is a downtrend here. We know that. All right. And we know we haven't passed our major trend line. So we know it will continue to come down. All right. So this here, right, this right here is our recent trend leading to price. So what I'm going to do, I will take my trend line again, and I'm taking it to the top right here, and I pull it all the way down. Okay, I could pull it right, well, let me pull it down to price, where price is currently. All right, so I'm doing it at the top of this wick right there. Okay. Now, when you're at this point, pay attention to the time frame that I'm at, 1 hour. All right. Now, this one I'm showing you here can be done on the 4 hour and on the 1 hour. Now, listen to me carefully. And if you have material to write, now I want you to write this. If you're on the 4 hour, if you're on the 4 hour time frame, now the recent trend, right here, that would be our recent trend leading to price. Okay, so we touch the wick of the candle. If you're on the 4 hour, you draw this trend line right at the last trend, okay, the last portion of the trend leading to price. And from the 4 hour, we jumping into the 15 minutes. From 4 hours into 15 minutes. Okay, pay attention. From 4 hours into 15 minutes. And the reason why we're jumping into 15 minutes, we're jumping into 15 minutes for the opportunity to identify the opportunity where to actually enter the trade. Okay, I'll repeat that again. When you're on the 4 hour, you draw the recent trend. Now, again, as I said, we're not really bothering with what happened up here. Okay, we're not bothering because we already know this is coming down in a downtrend. This trend is a downtrend because we drew our higher time frame trend, and we know it's a downtrend, and we also identified before that price is under the trend line, so we know it's coming down. However, on the 4 hour, we want to draw a trend line on the recent trend. Even though it's a downtrend, right? We want to draw it at the last one right here. We don't want to take it up here because that's too far. All right? We want to take it right here, recent one. All right? Before I take, yeah, I'll go back in a while. All right? So when you take it at the last trend right here, the last portion of that trend right here, right up to where price is currently, from the 4 hour, we're going to jump to the 15 minutes to look for opportunities, right, on where to enter the market. So if we look at the 4 hour time frame, we jump to the 15 minutes. If we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, we jump to the 5 minutes to look for opportunities on where to jump in the trade. I'll repeat that again. From the 4 hour, we jump to the 15 minutes to know where to jump in or at what time. All right, and I'll show you what we're going to look for to know when we're going to jump in the trade, from 4 hours to 15 minutes, and from 1 hour to 5 minutes. Okay? If you understand that, please put a 3 in the chat. If you understand that, put a 3 in the chat, please, if you understand what I just said. All right, very good, very good, very good. Good. Now, pay attention closely. So when you do all this, you draw your trend line from the 1 week come all the way down, look at the different time zone, and you draw your trend line. Now you want the 4 hour, you draw the last trend line, right? The little trend line here based on the last trend that you're seeing and to current price, and you, right? So at the 4 hour. So from the 4 hour, we're jumping. What time frame we say we jumping now? Come on, send me the message. What time frame we jumping here now? From the 4 hour. That's right.
15.
That's right. 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes. So from the 4 hour, we're jumping into the 15 minutes. Okay. Now, pay attention. Pay attention. So on the 15 minutes, we want to make sure we, right, with the highest point, and that's the line we just drew. All right. So look at the opportunities here on where we're going to enter the trade, right? And this here, this line here was, remember the 4 hours, it was short, okay? Now you see the distance and how many details we have here on the 15 minutes. Now look at it. So now, seeing that we know it's a downtrend, look at the opportunities we had here for entry. So you see this candle right here. This was an entry right here. Okay, pay attention, and I'm going to explain how I know it was an entry. Right, that was an entry right there. If you look here, this right here was an entry point. Right, this right here was an entry point. This right here was an entry point. This right here was an entry point. Right, and right here was an entry point. Now pay attention. I want you to see the pattern. So from this point, we draw a trend line. We know it came down. If we missed it here, right? If we missed it here, it came down. And anytime you miss a trade, whenever you miss the opportunity to jump in a trade, do not enter the trade. Whenever you miss the opportunity, do not enter the trade. Remember that. Whenever you miss the opportunity, please do not enter the trade. All right, let the trade run. So since that is a downtrend here, what we're looking for, we're looking for pullbacks. Right? What are we looking for? We're looking for pullbacks. So here now, pay attention. Pay attention. Look at this. So here we have a high. We have a low. We have a lower high. Right? We have a lower low here. All right. We got a lower high. Then let's take it down here. All right, we got a lower low here. We got a lower high. Okay, and so forth and so forth. Okay, so here we have a high, we have a low because it's a downtrend. Remember that we have a lower high, then a lower low, a lower high, then a lower low, a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. All right, and now pay attention. Now this, remember, is a downtrend, so this is a downtrend. We have a retracement or a pullback. And whenever we have a pullback, we wait for the pullback. And when we get the pullback, we enter the trade. We will enter the trade on the down, after the pullback into the downtrend. So look at the arrows, what I'm showing you here. If we enter this trade right here, right? If we enter this trade right here, pay attention. Give me a second, let me remove this. Right? Did price on the downtrend, did price at any time within this downtrend came back to this line? Pay attention to that. Did price came back to this line at any time whatsoever? Price never came back to this line within the downtrend. Never came back. Pay attention. All right. So when you jump in the trade right here, it will continue going down, even though this appears to be a consolidation here. You will still be in profit in a consolidation. All right. Now this also here is another entry point. All right. If you had entered the trade, I'm sorry. Let me make it bigger so you can see what's going on. If you had entered this trade right here, right? If you had entered this trade right here on this candle right here, all right, then price never came back. If you see that, price never came back to that zone right here, right? Now that's another opportunity right here. If you had missed this and you entered the trade right here on this candle right here, then look at it. Price never came back to that point. So the points what I'm showing you here are opportunities on the 15 minutes now where you could possibly enter the market. Right? Possibly enter the market. So if you look at it here, right? Price never came back, right? To that point, right? Instead of consolidate here, right? You consolidate right around here. When you come here again, right? Price never came back, come down, it pulled back right here again for an entry point, and so. Let me explain now what we're looking for, right? I just show you what we're looking for. We're looking for when price is going in any direction, price coming down in the downtrend, is that pulling back? We wait for the pullback. We wait, and this is an entry point right here, and it's consolidating. Now, if you're unable to identify that's an entry point here, you do not enter. Just do not enter. Wait, right? You see a consolidation here. When the market is consolidating, you do nothing, right? You know, I mean, even though around here, you just don't enter the market, because this here, if you look at it, it's consolidating. It didn't go up, it didn't go down, you were just going sideways. All right. And now you see a little action start happening here. We know it's a downtrend. So the minute time it start going down, we know it is going to continue going down because it's a downtrend. So this was our entry right here. You continue going down. If you miss this one here, this here was also an entry point, right? Come down here. All around here, price fluctuate, basically consolidate, right? Right, price consolidate right here. See, nothing isn't happening here. Right, just stay right around that zone there. Okay, and you just leave it alone. Don't do anything. Right, coming pull back, it goes down. It coming pull back, it goes down. So whenever you're going in a downtrend, whenever the trend is a downtrend, now you wait for a pullback. You wait for the pullback before you enter the market. So when the market pull back, you wait until price going in the direction of the trend, and then you enter the market. Anyone have any questions? I know I give you a lot of information so far. I'll pause here to answer any questions. So unmute your mic if you have any question. Unmute your mic and ask your question.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Pamela. Go ahead.
Yes. I am getting a little frightened because I'm thinking, do I have to get 4 computers operating so I can see?
No, you don't have to go. One computer is fine. I'm only using one computer, and join the chat easily. Just one computer you need. Why you ask if you have to get 4 computers?
It seems to me that it would be to my advantage to see the daily chart, the hourly chart, the 15-minute chart in one view. That's what I'm,
You're right. I understand what you're saying. Just let me answer your question. Hence the reason why I started with the 1 week and I drew a trend line. So this trend line here on the 1 week, it gives me the direction where the market is going. Okay. However, if you draw this on one computer and you draw something else on another computer, you don't know where the market is. So if you use one computer, you have this line right here, and it gives you the direction in where the market is going. Do you understand what I'm saying, Ms. Duncan?
Yeah, I'm trying to follow.
No, if I don't want you to be
Process it.
confused. So if you
No,
have the
no.
question, ask the question. I don't want you to be confused.
No. I'm processing. I'm not confused yet.
Okay. Okay, I hope.
So, okay,
I hope-
and also, I'm using my cell phone, so I don't know if I'll be able to drop these chats.
Yeah, on the cell phone is very difficult. Honestly, it's very difficult on the cell phone. So usually when people get on, and one of the questions we ask, do you have a computer? It's a lot easier to analyze the chats on a computer. It's a lot easier because you see what I'm doing here. You need a mouse, and even though you have a laptop and you're not quick with the mouse pad, you will definitely need a mouse to actually get this done, to get it done faster. Okay. So again,
I have,
and
a-
you
I have two questions.
go right ahead, Mr. Roberts.
We said that, well, you said that you draw your trend line on the weekly first, right?
Yes.
So the first question is, after every week, do we remove all the drawings and draw them over for the next week?
Yes. Yes. You want to do that because remember, the market, the past week, the market was moving. The market moved every day. All right.
Yeah.
And even every day you come on your every day you get on the computer, you want to redraw your trend line.
So
Because for
you
instance, go
adjust
ahead.
so you adjust the weekly trend line on a daily basis.
That's correct. That's correct. You always want to adjust it to where price is currently. Always want to adjust it.
And the next question too, based on entry, you said that you enter on the pullback, right?
That's right.
But on the pullback, do we not wait for the engulfing candle?
Not everybody understand how to read the candles in terms of all engulfing candles or not. Not everyone understand that because a lot of the traders here are new traders. You see what I'm saying? So if you understand how to identify the engulfing candle, then by all means do that. Okay. Now I'm just showing simple techniques, you know, for beginners, especially to identify how to enter the market. So for instance, if you pay attention to this trend line, you see price haven't break this trend line. It haven't passes the trend line. And I will even get into a little bit more details on how to identify when the pullback has ended. I will show you.
But that is what I was trying to figure out, because you would see a little red and think that the pullback is over, and then it automatically turns into a green or a blue candle. So
right.
So that is why I was asking about the convincing candle.
Not a problem. I will show you. I will actually go down and explain a little bit further in terms of getting a perfect entry. I will explain that a little bit more. But I just felt I gave a lot of information and I wanted people to ask. I didn't want anyone to be left behind. So I just wanted individuals to ask questions based on what I spoke about. So I will address that in a while. So anyone have any other questions?
Yes, good night. When you're doing your trend lines, like for example, the one you drew on the bottom, how do you know where to really rest it on the other side?
Oh, what I hear you, man. I hear what I'm saying.
You're not hearing me? You hear me now? Okay. All right. Now I'm asking, when you draw the trend line, especially the one on the bottom, to match up to ensure that all the blues you were seeing, it's just not a fake sign. How do you know where to rest it? Does the line straighten out a bit to know that it's perfect straight? How do you know to rest it from the left side to the right side? How do you know exactly which handle wick on the right side you had to rest it on?
Are you talking about this one right here?
No, when we did
you're talking about this here?
The little one. Well, this one, when we did the one on the week, was it weekly? Let me double check. Yeah, when we did the one on the weekly, before you put in all those small ones there.
Okay, so let's get back to the weekly. Let's get back to the weekly to make sure I understand what you're asking. Are you talking about this one right here?
When you had the first diagram and you drew, you had one from not coming down to south, not to south, and then you had one coming from south to kind of northwest. That one in the bottom. When we looked at the blue and you were saying, we saw all that blue and you would think that it's you're going for a buy, right?
Okay.
And then you drew that trend line in the bottom of it.
Okay.
Cross out on the next side.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know how you know where to drop it.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem. I will erase this and let me answer your question. Let me answer your question by showing you something here. All right, just permit me to erase this. If anyone have any question on this one I'm erasing, don't worry, I'll put it back and answer your questions. I hope I finish before, well, not before 9 because I have a call from 9 o'clock, but don't worry. I think this is more important here. All right. So for instance, let's assume that from this candle come down here, nothing, all right, this candle here come down, that didn't happen as yet. Let's assume that that didn't happen as yet. All right. And price was coming up here. Price was right here coming up. Okay. Let's assume that. Is that okay?
Yes.
So at this point here, what I will do, I will take my trend line and I'm starting a little away from the wick because I'm looking, you see, this is an uptrend right here, right? So on my uptrend, remember I said we're drawing the trend line at the bottom of the candles. So I want it to go up. So I will draw it from the bottom and pull it all the way up. But I don't want it passes, I don't want the candle, the trend line pass through the candles. I want it at the edge of the wick, all right? At the edge of the wicks. So I have to adjust my trend line now to ensure that it's at the edge of the wicks that's going up. So he touches these two. Unfortunately, this one didn't get touched on the trend line. Those here was unable to touch the trend line. That's fine. But you make sure these two at the end here, they're touched. Okay? Now, so I could have drawn this line all the way up. I could go as far as I want. Okay? Because I want to make sure that whenever as far as if price continue, give me a second, I want to get this. If price continue going up, right? If price continue going up, I will have to continue drawing my trend line. If price continue going up, I want to continue drawing this line, As long as price going up, I want to continue drawing it and ensure that this line is ahead of price. So just, right? So you adjust it, extend it to ensure that it's ahead of price. But, right, let's come down a little lower. So we know it's ahead of price right there. So here now, right here, you see we touch it, remember, we draw the trend line and we're touching the wicks. So look at what happened here. We saw an uptrend here, and with the uptrend, watch what happened. This price break the trend line, and watch what happened when he break the trend line. As soon as he break the trend line, what happened? Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened.
As soon as he break the trend line, I exit in the trade.
All right, Mr. Man.
He asked what happened to the price. So he come back, he come down, he drop
exactly.
down.
So the point I'm making is whenever price break the trend line, it will change direction. That's what I'm saying. Whenever price break the trend line, it will change direction. So the trend line is very, very powerful. The trend line show you the direction the trend is going. Whenever the price break the trend line, it also tells you that the trend is about to change the direction. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did I answer your question?
But you had brought it down a little more across to, a little more to the right.
Okay.
So when you started at the bottom, it came all across to the right.
Okay, you're talking about if I came down here. Let me see. You were talking about if I do another trend line right here. Is that what you're referring to?
No, the trend line was from, you see where you started this one by the blue, but you didn't go up that sharp. it came across more to the
way?
right. So you grab it somewhere over by where there's around this.
So you're talking about
back to the right.
You're talking about it came like
down.
this, like this.
Yes,
right.
yes,
The reason,
across something like that.
The reason why I drew it like that, remember my candles, the way the candles was situated, I have to touch the wicks of the candle. So the reason why the trend line was like that, how it was before, I think it wasn't, actually it was right here. I can see it right here, all right? And the reason why is that because I have to touch the end of the wicks. You see that? So the wick here now, I have to ensure that it touch the bottom of the wick and extend it. You see what I'm saying? I have to ensure that it touch the bottom of the wick. So I couldn't draw this trend line come all the way up here because, right? You have to ensure that it touch the bottom of the wick.
Right. I think you had drawn it more to the bottom of the blue, where the blue started to climb, and you scoot it across to where it is there now.
Right. So I have to make sure, as I said, when you draw your trend line, depends on where you start. You have to draw the trend line according to, I mean, basically, you have to draw your trend line to touch the wicks. Now, if I started drawing my trend line right here, then it will look like that right here, because I have to touch the edge of the candle or the bottom of the wicks. Okay? So if I drew it like that, then it come up here, then when it passes the trend line, you see what happened here? It passes the trend line right here, and you see what happened. As soon as it passes the trend line, it changed the direction.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making is that the trend line tells you exactly what the market is doing. The trend line will tell you exactly what the market is doing.
Right.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, good. So pay attention to this here before anyone asks any question. Pay attention to this, okay? Now, look at this. And just to confirm what I'm saying, right? Just to confirm what I'm saying. Whenever price passes the trend line that you draw, the market will change. Whatever it going in a pullback or it going in the particular direction of the trend, it will change the direction. So for instance, this trend here is a down trend, and it continues to come, right? The price is under the trend line. Price is under the trend line coming on here. Look at this. The minute time price break this trend line, look what happened. It went up. So the fact that price start going up, then you draw another trend line at the bottom because it's an uptrend and see what's going to happen. So as long as price remain on top of this line, you will continue drawing your trend line, extending your trend line. As long as price continue to stay on top of this trend line, you're going in a buy. Whenever price,
I could say something here, Kendall.
Go ahead.
To answer the question Imran would have asked. And when you ask about the engulfing candle and to make things so technical, you're not only sometimes confused persons who don't really understand. Every time the price crosses the trend line is an entry, is an opportunity for an entry.
That's correct also.
But this is to me is the simplest explanation so that persons could detect an entry point. As you rightly say, every time it changes, you draw a new trend line. So once it crosses the trend line, you know it's an opportunity to enter the trade or to exit the trade.
Right, in the direction of where the trend is going. So as Paul rightly said, so right, so he was coming on in a sell here. So if you actually sell this market and you didn't have a take profit, the main time it passes the trend line, then you jump out of the trade. And you jump out of the trade for the sell, and you actually enter a buy. Okay, so that's an opportunity to enter a buy right here. And the minute time you do that, you want to draw another trend line, okay, touching the wicks of the candle going up. And as long as price remain on top of the other trend line, you leave the buy, let it continue. If you don't put a take profit, you leave the buy, let it continue. The minute time passes the trend line again, you jump out from the buy, and you could also get into a sell. And if you're a scalper, you do that. And you see what happens since you jump in here, look at what happens. You keep going down. So your trend line is very, very, very important. And that's what I've been doing. And that's the reason why I'm so successful with my trading. All right. So successful with my trading because I pull my trend line, whatever direction the market is going, I pull my trend line. From the 4 hour, I jump into the 15 minutes to look for an entry. From the 1 hour, I jump to the 5 minutes to look for an entry. I wait for my pullback. When I find the pullback, I enter the trade and I profit the trade. And I will also show you how to identify your take profits and how to identify your stop loss. I will show you that in a while. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any question? Feel free. Please unmute your mic and go right ahead and ask your question. All right. Okay. All right. So everyone understand. Very good. You make me feel like I'm a good teacher. All right. Good, good, good. So no, we understand that, right? If you understand that, please put a 4 in the chat. If everyone understand what I spoke about so far, please put a 4 in the chat. So it's only all right. Good, 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 good. Marvin Antonia, Howard, Duncan, good, good, good. Maria O'Neill, Brian, Jeremiah, very good. All right, good, good, good. All right, next piece of information here. Now, let me show you now. Well, the same principle I just applied from the 4 hour, jump into the 15 minutes, is the same principle you're going to apply from the 1 hour to jump into the 5 minutes, and you're looking for your pullback to enter the trade. Okay, I hope everyone understand that. The same principle, all right? And again, if you need to practice this. If you don't practice, you will not get better at it. If you don't practice, you will not get perfect. So you need to practice, and in the process of practicing, you will fail, right? What you can do as well, I think everyone has a demo account. You do your analysis and try to take your trade on your demo account. See what happens, right? See what happens. I have one of my very good friends. I think he's on the call. He learned this he just joined IML. Just about 3 weeks ago, he joined IML, and he learned this within 2 weeks. And he analyzed the charts, and I say, hey, try to take it on your demo account to ensure that you're doing the right thing. You know, and I was like, no. He tried a couple times on the demo, and he got through. He said, man, I'm not gonna waste time doing demo, and he's getting through, right? He's getting through, and it's very, very simple. I'm seeing someone raise their hand.
Yeah, one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
As most people say, it's difficult on the phone. So how you get all that on like your computer? Because I typing on my computer and looking up traders, whatever, and seeing if I could follow, but my computer can't get to cut it off.
You're going on tradingview.com.
Yeah, so if you could send a link or something.
Tradingview.com. tradingview.com. And that's where you're going to get this chat to analyze the chat. Tradingview.com. And you can sign up for free. Just put in your email address and a password, and you're good to go.
Or you could just sign up with your Google account.
Okay, I didn't do it that way. So thank you so much. Is Imran? Right. Venus, I see your hand is up. Go right ahead. Unmute your mic. And ask your question. Before you come, Venus, Mr. Wellington, did I answer your question? Mr. Wellington. Unmute your mic and answer. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, thanks.
All right, good. Venus, your hand is up. Go ahead.
Oh, I know no question. I put the wrong thing.
Okay, just put it down, please. All right, good. So the next step, what we're gonna do is I am gonna show you how to get your take profit, how to identify your take profit and your stop loss. And it's very, very simple. I'll say right here, right? How do you take profit and your stop loss? So remember, I just showed you a while ago how to, well, basically if it's a downtrend, you know, you have your high, right? High, you got a low, right? You got a lower high, okay? And I think most of us understand that. If you just spend some time looking at your video in if you look at your video in the back office, then everybody understands that you have a high, you have a low, higher low. Sorry, a lower high, a lower low, lower high, and lower low, right? Basic thing if you go on a downtrend. If you go on an uptrend, then you have a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, higher low, higher high, and so forth, okay? So let's say, for instance, you see this right here, and you're jumping the trade right here on that little pullback, okay? You get a little pullback here, and you're jumping the trade right at this point right here. Okay, now when you jump in the trade here, your stop loss will be your previous high. Okay, your stop loss is going to be your previous high. So let's, for instance, this here could be a stop loss right here. You see that this is higher than this point right here. This here could be a stop loss, and also this point right here can be a stop loss. Okay, so now how do you get the numbers? If you take your horizontal line, right, and you drop it right at this point right here, there's a line, right, your horizontal line, and if you look at the end of your horizontal line, that's your number right here for your stop loss. Okay, if you want to give it some more room and you want to put your stop loss up here, you take the horizontal line and you drag it back up. Look nice for you. Drag it up to this point. Right, you drag it up to this point, and give me a second. Right, so you take your stop loss, your line, your horizontal line, and you put it all the way to this point, and then you get your stop loss right here. Okay, you get the stop loss right here. So let's say, for instance, we jump in this trade right here, and even though you're here, what I will advise for new traders to do, just take 10 pips. Whenever you enter a trade, just take 10 pips. Take 10 pips, take a time and build your account. 10 pips, take a time and build your account. Just 10 pips. And the way you can calculate the 10 pips, on TradingView, you have the ruler here, right? You have your ruler. You take the ruler. Let's say you enter at this point right here. You click on that, the point that you enter, and you pull it down. And if you look at the numbers here, you're seeing the minus 20.5, it gives you the number. So you pull it all the way up, right? Until you get 10. So that's 10 pips right there. And if you look at the far right-hand corner where the blue is right here, I'll click on it, right? So this right here is your take profit, the one at the bottom. So your entry point, 88.88040, and your take profit is 0.87931. So basically, I will always advise beginners, just take 10 pips. 10 pips is very, very easy to get, right? So you take a 10 pips and you get out. Take a 10 pips and you get out. Another way.
Can you repeat that, please?
Not a problem. Not a problem. Let me go in a little bit more depth so you understand. Let's say you take a trade. If you look, most of the time you look on your phone, most of the time we take trades, we have our MetaTrader on the phone, we have it running. When you place the trade, when the trade is active, right under the PA, you see two set of numbers there. The first number is your entry point. There is an arrow, and then you see a second set of numbers, and the numbers usually they're running. The numbers that are running is where price is currently. That's to your right. The numbers to your left is your entry point. Okay? The numbers on your left is your entry point. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take a horizontal line, look right, put your mouse on the horizontal line, look for this, you double click on it, right? And then you'll put the coordinates of your entry point right inside here, right? You put the number for your entry point in coordinates, and you put it inside here. When you put it inside there, let me just change this number. If you pay attention, look at where this line is. I'm going to change a few numbers here, and you will see that it will change. Let me say 465, and I press OK. Then this line jumps straight to that point. All right. Let's say, for instance, I enter at this point right here. Okay, I enter at this point. Okay, that's my entry. So I enter right here in the market, and I want to take 10 pips. On the left-hand side in trading view, there is a ruler, all right? It's the measure. There's a ruler. You click on the ruler. You put your line directly on your entry point line, so you wouldn't see no double lines. You see only one line. You click on it, right? You click on it and you pull it down until you get 10 pips, right? So 10, you might get exactly 10, 10.9, 10 point, whatever it is, right? But you want to get 10 pips. You get 10 pips. When you get 10 pips, you click again, right? And that will remain, right? That will remain. So you see here, you got 10.9 pips, right? So you have your entry point, you put in your entry point, and if you count, if you know, the majority should know how to count your pips, right? And if you come from this, if you minus this from this year, you will get 10.9 basically, right? And that's your entry, that's your take profit right here, right? So that's your 10 pips, and that's your take profit right here. Do you understand what I just explained? If you understand what I just explained, put a 1 in the chat. If you didn't understand, put a 5 in the chat. If you didn't understand, put a 5 in the chat. If you do understand what I just explained, put a 1. All right. Maria is asking to repeat. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'll repeat again. Now, trading view is new for a lot of people, right? You will literally have to go and practice in trading view, try and get some of the things. Just click on stuff and see what it does, so that you can, get yourself familiar with trading view. Okay. So in trading view, when you enter your trade, most of the time people have the trade running on the phone, on whether MT4 or MT5 or whatever platform you're using. You usually have the trade on your phone running. If it's on the computer, they will actually tells you, give you the entry point, at what point you enter. They're going to give you the coordinates of your entry point. Okay. And I don't have any trade running. I'll show you. Let me just jump in, and I will share my screen on my phone, and I will jump in. Let me jump in my my demo account and show you what I'm talking about. Right? I'm gonna jump in my demo account and show you what I'm talking about right here. Okay, just give me 1 second. I want to share my screen on my phone. Okay, just give me 1 moment. All right, let me stop sharing my screen here. Just give me 1 moment. Right, so this is my demo account, right? This is my demo account. And let's say, for instance, I'm gonna take a trade, right? I'm just gonna, all right, new order. I'm just gonna take a trade randomly. All right, now pay attention. Under USD Chef, there so I buy USD Chef, okay? Now, right under USD Chef, there are two set of numbers. The first set of number is 0.97531. Can you see that? 0.97531. Okay? This is my entry point, right? USD Chef 0.97531. This is the point I enter the market. On the other side, there's an arrow, and to the other side, 0.9752 is 3 now, but you will see that the 3 will move every now and then. This number here is where price is currently, okay? So what you're concerned about is your entry point, right? What you're concerned about is your entry point. So if we buy here and we say we want 10 pips, we have 0.97531. We know we could count 10 pips from this. So 10 pips from this will definitely be 0.97631. Okay? Because we count in 10 pips. We know we ignore the last number and we count the pips, the previous two numbers, and we will get 0.97631 or 630. All right? And we know that's what we want to put enter. All right? No, let me go back. Let me go back and go back in trading view now to explain, to show you what I was talking about. So remember, that's a different pair here, okay? That's a different pair. So for instance, we get our horizontal line, and we put our horizontal line on trading view, and we double click this here, and we actually enter, right? Double click here, and we come up with coordinates, and we get this here. So our entry point, we're gonna put our entry point in here, right? Put in the number for our entry point in here and click OK. When you click OK, you go on the left side and you get your ruler, all right? Or it's the measure. So you get your ruler right here. You put the line right on the horizontal line, so you don't see a double line. Do it so that you can see just only one line. You make one click on trading view, you pull it down, and you want to pull down to 10 pips. You pull down to 10 pips, and this right here, this number right here is your take profit. Now, as I said, this is a different pair to what I did on the phone. Okay, a different pair to what I did on the phone. And now you just pull 10 pips, and this is your. Everyone understand?
Yes, I understand what I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. Okay, what's happening to you? Right, good. So we enter the trade. Okay, right. Can you put back the cursor where you enter the trade?
Give me a second. Let me actually get USD Chef. Let me actually get USD Chef. So what I will do definitely, basically what I will do, I will get here, put in my entry point. My entry point is 0.97531. Okay. On coordinates, I put in my entry point. Sometimes I go on text and I put in entry, or sometimes I put in buy, all right, whatever I feel comfortable doing, okay? And I click OK.
What you said your entry point was
0.97531. So I enter, I double click on it, and I put in my entry point, 0.97531.
Okay, so when you entered the trade, it showed up in the purple on the side by itself?
It will not show up on Trading View. It will show up on your phone. So I actually get the information from my phone because I have MetaTrader 4 on my phone.
If you don't have the phone and you're just using Trading View alone, how do you identify it?
That's not a problem. If you, no, this is my live account. I don't want to have to literally analyze a trade before I.
No, you don't need to do it.
Okay.
I mean, don't do something real because I don't want to mess up your account.
Right.
But just tell me how I will be able to identify it using the Trading View. Mm-hmm.
On Trading View, if you look at the trades that's running at the bottom, you will see the different things. You have entry point, you have TP, you will have stop loss. You have multiple options there. So you're gonna definitely see. I'm not so sure. Paul, can you help me here and tell me what you want to see, if it's price or entry point or whatever it is? Because I don't really use the MT4 on the phone, on the computer, sorry.
Could you repeat?
On the computer, if you're talking about are you talking about Trading View or are you talking about MetaTrader?
No, I am relating both of them. So for instance, if you enter a trade, you will not see it show up on Trading View. If you take a trade, you will see it. What do you use, your computer or your phone?
The computer.
You use the computer. So you're going to actually see it in your MT4, your MetaTrader 4 on the computer. Paul, what I was asking, I really don't use the MetaTrader 4 much on the computer. Tell me, what do you see on your MetaTrader 4 when you enter the trade for your entry point? Paul, are you there?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Just let me stop sharing my screen here, so I at least I will
What you were saying? I just stepped out for a second.
Oh, okay. What I was asking is, when you, let me jump in here. I'll tell you. When when you're using your MetaTrader 4, well, actually there's price, right? You will see price. So when you're using your, well, I'm using MetaTrader 5 here. I'm watching MetaTrader 5. So when the trade is running, you see time, type, size, symbol, and then you see price, and that's your entry point.
Yeah.
Right? You see SL, which is stop loss, TP.
Stop loss, TP.
And, you know,
and then you see a next
price again. Right. So one of them is where price is currently, and then the other one is will be where you enter the market, the point you enter the market.
Yeah, the price is the current price now.
Right. So you will have to get the one
price where you enter and then the current price.
Right. So you will have to get the price where you enter the market. Okay. Take the price where you actually enter the market, and then you will have to put this information in Trading View. Go in Trading View and put the numbers in here. After you get the horizontal line, you double click the horizontal line, then you will put a number in here. When you press OK, then the horizontal line will go exactly where you enter the market. Right? So if you enter the market for a buy, now you take your ruler, you put it exactly on the line, you click on it, and you, what amount of pips you want, you will pull it to the direction, because buy, so you want to go up. If it was a sell, we don't want to go down. So because it's a buy, we're going up, and we're going up for 10 pips. Right? So it's 10, 10.5, right around there, right? That's fine, 10.1, close, right? So when you get to 10.1, whatever it is, you click, right? So that you're going to release the mouse. This stays there. You see it's 10.1. Can you see that, Venus?
Yeah, yeah, I've seen it.
Right. Ms. Howard, sorry. Can you see that?
Yes, I'm seeing.
Good. Now your take profit is this number right here. On the side, you will see the number that way, right? That's your take profit right here. That's your number for the 10 pips.
Do you understand? Number right at the top, the number.
Right over here. Can you see my mouse?
Yes, see your mouse.
Right, so that's your number right here. So you put in this here for your TP, 0.97633. You understand now?
Yes, I understand that. So you're saying you have to enter the trade in the MetaTrader first, after analyzing it using your trend line on TradingView.
That's right, because when you analyze the chart on TradingView, you have to take the trade. Whatever you're using, whether the computer or the phone, you have to go and enter the trade.
So it therefore means I have to match up my MetaTrader with my TradingView.
When you say match up, what do you mean? To analyze the charts?
No, not to analyze the chart, because I'm using my TradingView to analyze my chart and so on and be able to get to enter. But
here's
when
what based on who your broker is, you can integrate them into the MetaTrader, into the TradingView. Like I know FXCM is also incorporated in the TradingView, so you can connect some of your broker into the TradingView. So you actually trade from TradingView. So you analyze, you do everything, and you do your trading from TradingView. And even when when you set alerts in TradingView, based if your broker is able to be connected to TradingView, it puts the trade in for you one time. That's also a feature of it. Once your broker is listed in the TradingView. So you can set alerts, so when it gets into that, it's just like a pending order. You can convert the alerts into pending order inside the TradingView.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. Thanks for that information, Paul.
So does Hot Forex?
I don't miss a lot of my markup.
So is Hot Forex one of them that's inside the TradingView?
No, it's not. No.
Okay, so then the people who are on Hot Forex must go to TradingView. I understand everything about putting in my trend lines and getting where I'm supposed to enter, look from a pullback and everything. So when I find that spot on TradingView now, what should I take from TradingView to enter into MetaTrader? Do I have to line up the like watch it in between to see, okay, they are at that same point? Is there anything that would give a clue? Or I just have to basically figure it out on my own?
I repeat that question. I didn't quite get your question. Sorry,
okay.
I was looking at something on my phone. Sorry, I'm very sorry.
All right. So we cannot do the merge of the Hot Forex because the TradingView does not allow us to. So with everything that you'd explain, where we put in our trend line and everything, that is understandable. We reach to the point where we have to enter. So we enter in on the TradingView, right? What clue or pointer must I take from my TradingView to now apply to my Hot Forex to know, okay, that is exactly there? Do I have to compare the two graphs, like match them up one on top of the other, or is there anything on TradingView that I can use to put into MetaTrader to put into?
So I'm simply to answer this. I mean, you do all your markup and you get all your indication, your signals, everything on TradingView. All you need from TradingView is the entry point or the exit point, and this you do your markup in TradingView. And you see, like, now where that screen is here, 0.970, whatever. If that's your entry point, you just open your TradingView and you enter at that here. That's all you do. So
my entry point is 0.97042.
You just plug in that in your MetaTrader. That's what you come back.
MetaTrader. Okay, that's what I just wanted that clarification on.
Yeah,
because I was trying.
The numbers from here, and you just enter the numbers in your MetaTrader.
Right, and then you use that same number and enter it into the horizontal line of the same TradingView here to be able to get the TP.
Right, that's correct.
Okay.
Right, but your entry point, usually your entry point will generate, if it's not a pending order, if it's a market execution, your entry point will generate when you enter the trade, whether you buy or sell. So when you get your entry point, you apply it in TradingView, and then you use TradingView to get your take profit and your stop loss, and then you take that information there, your numbers, and put it in your Hot Forex. You get it?
Good.
Miss Howard?
Good night.
So I'm getting two things. I'm getting that I can use TradingView to get an entry point because I entered here, so I would get a number on my right-hand side. All right, and I can put that into Hot Forex. And I'm also getting that I can enter the Hot Forex, and my entry point, I can take it now and then put it into TradingView to get my TP and stop loss.
Pause for a little bit. Now remember, listen to what I'm saying. Your entry point whenever you do a market execution, where a market execution is where you buy or sell immediately. Whenever you do a market execution, an entry point will automatically generate for you on your trading account wherever you enter the market. Wherever you enter the market, this is automatically your entry point. However, if you're doing a pending order, whether a buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, or a sell stop, then you will have to determine your entry point. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do understand that.
Right. So what I'm saying to you, if you're doing a market execution, you don't need to get an entry point from TradingView. So if you already
but we have to.
If you do a hold on, go ahead. Sorry.
No, aren't we using the entry point for us to determine the stop loss, or I mean,
yes,
or to take profit?
Yes, you're using your entry point from your Forex account while you take the trade. You do the market execution, so you use that entry point. You use your entry point that you actually enter the trade from Hot Forex. You put it into the trading view in order to get your take profit and your stop loss. Is that clear?
Yes, yes.
Are you sure? Okay.
Good night.
Hi, good night.
All what you have shown, trend lines, all of this that was shown can also be done in MetaTrader 4.
Yes, it can be done. It can be done.
I just wanted to make sure, because I didn't want some people listening to get confused, because it seems like I didn't understand that she can use her computer, use the MetaTrader, and do the same thing, and just with a click, because the broker is assigned to the MetaTrader, just take the trade there one time.
Right.
But here's what, Antonia, here's what. There are a lot of limitations. I mean, MetaTrader can be compared to TradingView in terms of functionality and what you can do in TradingView. It's like you're talking about a horse and a donkey. The thing about it, where you can zoom in and you can zoom out and you can do those things inside the trading view, in MetaTrader, it's not as easily done as that. Every time you go to move it, if you decide to scroll, the chat starts flipping up and flipping down. So you can do a lot of those kinds of things inside MetaTrader as you are able to do that. Yes, you can do some of them. You can do a lot, but not as fluent. So the thing about it, I would advise persons to do all that was done tonight. TradingView is the place to do that. You do that in TradingView, and all you do is just get your entry points and you just plug it in your MetaTrader. So if it's something you decide to take a market execution, as Kendall is saying, you can control the spread from your broker, and so where you enter, where no market execution you enter. As soon as you see it here in TradingView and you say, okay, that's my point, you just open MetaTrader and you just go in straight ahead and you just hit your entry. And that's what it is. So you shouldn't make it complicated. It is not complicated. It is far easier to do and save your layouts and do your thing here inside the trading view, and you just do your execution in the MetaTrader.
Any other questions? Thank you, Paul. Any other questions? Right. If not, I think, Paul, we're going to wrap up here. And whenever you have your session again, let me know so that we can, I can definitely come and explain again. Right? If anyone have any questions.
We didn't do the stop loss one. I remember we do take profits.
Yeah, you wasn't paying attention, I guess. So what I was explaining.
Okay. No, because that's why I asked, because you did stop loss first and then you did take profit.
That's right. I did the stop loss first and then do you take profit after.
I was kind of right. You could just review the stop loss then, please.
That's not a problem.
I think
so. Let's say, for instance, you enter the market here for a sell. You want to do your stop loss on the previous high. So this is your entry point right here, right around here. And the previous high, you want to do your stop loss. So this point right here could be your stop loss. All right. If you're going in a buy, all right. If you're going in a buy, let me just delete this chats here. if you go in a buy and you enter the market right here for a buy, right at this point here, right? If you enter the market right here, then your stop loss will be your previous low, right? So you come in your previous low for your stop loss, all right? And you count your pips and take your pips based on what you want with your measuring tool. Do you understand me, Miss Howard? Are you there?
Yes, yes. Is it the same 10 pips?
For what?
For the stop loss?
You didn't understand what I just said, did you?
Yes, but I hear you say you check the pips, so that's why I asked. You said after you enter, to do the stop loss, you go on the previous entry, whether it would have been a higher or low.
The previous low. If you're buying,
well,
then your previous low gonna be your stop loss.
Right.
Now you take profit, and I always say I advise new traders to just take 10 pips for your take profit. Right? If you have a better idea of what you're doing and you want to take a little bit more than 10 pips, it's totally up to you. But your stop loss is your previous low if you're buying, right? So for instance, if you enter the market right around here, right? If you enter the market right around here, then your stop loss will be your previous low if you're buying. Right? If you're selling, you enter the market right here, then your stop loss will be your previous high.
Right, yeah. Right, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Any other question?
All right. So, Kendall, I take the opportunity to thank you very much for your presentation. We have gone way over the time, but it's for what it calls, and at least we understand. We want to make sure that whenever something is done, some training is done, persons clearly understand, and there are no hanging questions or anything out there. The onus is on us so that we can practice, and that's what it's all about. It's all about practicing. So we can practice and we can back test and we can do that. And if we master this strategy, we see how simple it is in order for us to become profitable. So once again, for those on the call, Kendall, we thank you very much for sharing with us. And I know you're always there and you're always willing to continue to share with us.
Yes, that's not a problem. It's my pleasure to help individuals. I hope you guys got what we explained tonight. I would advise you to practice. Go on trading view, practice, make your mistakes, analyze the charts, and use your demo account to take little trades and see what happens. And by practicing, you will get better. All right. So it's my pleasure, and I'm happy that you guys, everyone participated. I appreciate it very much, and I'm looking forward to our next session.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So thanks again. So here's what, as we come back. So as I made mention last week when I was resurrected, that we're going to pursue this thing heavily and we're going to move forward. There, at least we can look to have at least three meetings for the week, so that we can get everybody back together and getting momentum going back together, because there are other strategies and other methods, and we just decided, okay, fine, we're going to start off with this strategy first so that persons can really get a hold of things and they can build their confidence. We don't want to confuse you too much with having too many things at the same time. So now that you're home, I advise you that during the course of tomorrow, you can practice this, you can do that. Again, this session has been recorded, and since it is recorded, I am going to also, when I'm finished with the editing and the conversion of it, I'm going to post it in the group. So if you want to look over the recording and have it there, so that you can once again view it over and over until you understand it, then that's good. We can do that. So I'm going to forward the recording to the chat, to the group, once the recording is complete, which is going to be done later on tonight. So again, once again, pleasant good night to everyone. And tomorrow I'm going to update you as to when we move to the next session and what we do. But please practice, and you can see how simple this is. So once again, have a pleasant good night, and we catch up tomorrow. Later, folks.